Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Real Life Health Show. I want to continue this series here of about eating healthy and just living healthy. And I've been eating a raw food diet for a long time now, and I always find it interesting when people say, "Well, that didn't work for me," and it's not necessarily even a raw vegan diet. It's whatever. Something didn't work. Oh, I tried that; it didn't work for me. And no two people will ever think the same way about everything, 100%. Always, everybody's going to do something a little bit different at some point, right? So when people say I tried that, it didn't work for me, well, how exactly did they try something? I know a lot of people that say they tried the raw vegan diet and it didn't work for them. I can tell you now, I've never met a person in this world that eats the way I eat. And I've never eaten 100% exactly the way somebody else eats. We all have our little differences, and not only with our diet, just with our whole health routine. But when people say, I tried that, it didn't work for me, they might have tried something like that, but it wasn't exactly that. And there aren't too many people out there that even not only are not successful at doing 100% raw vegan, but there are a lot of people out there that might have tried but failed. But there aren't too many people that could do it long term and have done it long term. And of the few people that are out there doing it, we all have some sort of difference. We're not doing it the same exact way. So when people categorize, oh, I've tried that and it didn't work, we have to take into account they didn't. I remember last year somebody contacted me and they said they're suffering from ulcerative colitis, something that I actually got better from by eating a healthy diet and living a healthy lifestyle. And I actually got better from this. And they called me up and I told them what I did and I suggested some things to them, what they could do to get better and be healthy. And I know they didn't do what I recommended. I'm sure of it. They might have did just to some degree. They might have attempted maybe some of the things I said, but they straight out admitted, I can't do everything you did and I don't want to do everything you did. Well, they didn't get better. And then later on, they started telling people, well, I tried everything out there. No, you didn't. You didn't try what I told you to do. And, so we got to be careful when people say, oh, I tried that diet or I tried to eat that way or I tried to do that, because they really didn't. And, we really have to learn to get away from different types of labeling and ideas and really what other people are doing. Yes, we want to be successful. We want to follow successful people. But we're not with them all day long. We're not doing exactly what they're doing. So it'd be more appropriate to say, oh, I tried some form of what he was doing, or I tried some of the things he was doing. But that one thing you're not trying might just be the difference between health and disease. We're talking about a living organism here in human chemistry, and it's a live thing. It's not something like, well, this person painted their car yellow and that person painted their car yellow. We're not looking at still items. We're looking at a living organism and things that are going to have memory from the past of what we've done versus what we didn't. Two people can go to a gym and do the same exact exercise and get different results. Even if people are doing the same exact diet, they could still have a different outcome based on many of the other factors of health that are out there. But when it comes to just diet and eating and health in general, we want to make sure that we're not only doing what makes sense to us, but really doing what makes sense for health in the body and how we could just be healthy in the way we're living. So it wouldn't really be healthy or make a lot of good sense for somebody to do things that are known to be destructive. For example, let's say smoking cigarettes, for example. There might be some people in this world that might get away with smoking cigarettes and not be completely sick or ridden with lung cancer or something else. But that doesn't mean it's a wise thing to attempt to do. And some people say, well, you can use that same thought for the vegan diet or the raw vegan diet. I know many people that failed at the raw vegan diet. So just because you're successful, that doesn't mean it's a wise thing to do. Well, that's where things change here, because the raw vegan diet or eating foods that are natural for our bodies, that are created for us, is different than doing something that's known to be destructive or carcinogen to the body. So the results have something to do with it in terms of success rates and so on. And if everyone's eating this way is sick, if they're all doing it the same way, they're the same sick, that says something. But a lot of people try to justify what they're doing or justify what they thought they did by saying, well, I tried that, it didn't work, or I did that, and so on. And I don't know. See, a lot of people think, oh, I just eat raw foods. There's a lot of different ways to eat raw foods. And I've never met anyone. There's only one person I know who even eats close to the way I eat. And they're 93 years old and live much healthier than I am, and they've been doing this much longer than I have. That's the only person I know who not only currently eats close to what I eat, but ever did. I don't know anyone who's ever eaten what I eat. So when people say, oh, I tried that and it didn't work for me, you didn't try what I do, and I know that. I know that for a fact. But, I'm not here to just be prideful and say, well, this diet's better than that diet, or I'm better than you. I'm just here to help people. And I want to help people eat the best foods for their body. And it's not that some things work for one person and other things work for other people. It's just really understanding our bodies, understanding human chemistry, and understanding what foods are going to give our body the most nutrients while using the least amount of energy to get rid of the waste that's left over. And when you think about that, everything has nutrition in this world today, and I say this all the time. Everything has nutrition. But how much work does your body have to do to get those nutrients, and how much waste is left over after you've eaten those things? And the things that give your body the most nutrients while using the least amount of energy to get them and have the least amount of waste left over, those are the food that's ultimately going to be ideal for your body. It doesn't mean you can't survive on other foods, but we should be looking to thriving, not just surviving. So we want to take those things into consideration when we consider health. And I always say that, health isn't just about nutrients. It's about the waste that's left over and what the body does with it and how much energy is used in getting rid of it. So, it's not only about diet, but when we are eating a diet, we want to let our body be able to do the best it can do with with the capabilities. And diet has a lot to do with that. So that's why it's so important to make sure we're not creating an extra burden or making things harder for our body. Through my research, through my study, and through my own diet, I found over the years that the diet that's going to give me the most energy with the most nutrients with the least amount of energy wasted on and the least amount of waste left over is raw fruits and vegetables. And I put it to the test, and I'm always looking out for things and monitor my blood work and seeing what's working, what's not working. But yeah, there's a fine line there, because if I'm eating a ton of junk or just trying to get nutrient from everywhere and everywhere and everywhere, I might be able to get nutrients, but all that waste I'm creating is just going to add or contribute to disease or something else. So, but the way I'm eating and limiting a lot of those foods that have that excess waste, it leaves a small room for error from a nutritional standpoint, meaning I get my nutrition from this, and this. Now, if I'm missing this, now I'm not getting my nutrients. But I'm also not getting the waste that would have been left over of just trying to eat something to make up for that's unhealthy. So we got to be wise in the decisions we make. I hope this is making sense to you all, and study about it and think about it. And that's what I think people aren't doing. When people say things like, oh, I tried everything, or oh, I tried that and it didn't work for me. Even if you tried the raw vegan diet, you haven't tried what somebody else did. And, there are like ways to eat, like there's paleo, and there's vegan, and there's all these different ways. But even within that, there's different ways to do it, and so on. So I just try to help people with what time we should eat, helps our body utilize the food the most and digest it the best. If you are eating cooked food, maybe taking some digestive enzymes with the food. Exercise is extremely important, but sleep is so important. So if you're eating a raw vegan diet, but you're not getting enough sleep, and then it doesn't work, people say, well, I tried the raw vegan diet, it didn't work. No, sleeping was your issue, not the diet. And most people that are eating this diet are just not eating the right foods in the right amounts. And I'm here to share my what I've learned with you over the years and try to help you help yourselves. If you have a disease or an illness, you can get better. The body is the one that does the healing. Well, it's really our Creator does the healing. He created the body, but the body has the capability of healing from all things. When I first went to Hippocrates Health Institute many years ago, they told me food doesn't heal anything. It's not the food that heals, it's the body that heals. We just supply it with what it needs to do the job it was created to create. So remember that, everybody. Put your comments and questions below. And thank you very much for listening. Have a blessed day and a great raw life.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.